Hi, I'm Ben Martian, Head of Policy and Standards here at the FPA, and I'd like to introduce you all to Nick Hannon, who is our Government Relations Manager. Hi, Nick.
Hi, Ben.
What do you do for us here at the FPA?
Well, I head up the FPA's engagement with the federal government. So I spend a lot of my day talking to politicians, talking to their staff about pretty much any issues that FPA members find important.
And you've recently redone the advocacy guide for us. Do you want to just briefly tell members what this is all about?
Absolutely. So we've done a refresh of the advocacy guide. This is something the FPA has done for a while now, but it was time to have another look at it. The advocacy guide is a fairly straightforward, common sense guide for members to engage with their local MPs or senators on any issue that they want to engage on. It covers fairly basic information about how to get a meeting with your MP, what to do before the meeting, how to conduct yourself during the meeting, and what to do after the meeting.
And why should our members be talking to their local politicians?
Right, well, we obviously talk to the government on behalf of members quite a lot, but the thing that members can bring that we can't is a really authentic voice. Your practitioners, your constituents, many of you are employers and small business people, and they're the voices that local members really find valuable. We obviously will continue to work on behalf of members, but having members go in there behind us and make the case for individual MPs and senators is also a really valuable thing for us. So.
And to that point, there's only two of us, and Dante helps out a lot with advocacy work, but you being in your electorates and around the country is a way for us to get our message out there in a much broader scale.
It's a multiplier. We have a broad membership that ranges across the country, and our messaging is a lot more effective if it's being backed up by members going straight to their MPs as well.
And are there any key tips that you've got for members about what they should do when they're speaking to their local member?
I think number one is be nice. Obviously, a lot of the issues that we're dealing with, people are very passionate about them. They've got strong views, and you can certainly make those strong views, but always be respectful. Certainly been sitting in plenty of meetings with constituents and stakeholders who are less than respectful, and it's the fastest way you can undermine your own messaging. Unfortunately, staff in particular have to deal with a lot of cranky constituents, and it's the fastest way to get your issue put to the bottom of the pile. So that would be number one. Number two, have a plan for what you want to say. You really need to go in there being ready to lead the conversation, be succinct, summarise what the key points of your message are and the kind of action that you would like the MP or senator to take. And then after the meeting, I think it's a really important thing to follow up in writing with follow-up actions, pieces of information that you think are relevant, things that you want to see from there.
And we often meet with politicians in Canberra, and that's particularly tricky.
It is. When politicians are in Canberra, their focus really is on Parliament. It's a really busy period, those parliamentary sitting weeks. So getting access to politicians when they're in their electorate, they've got more time. They're in a more relaxed environment. They're often a bit more focused on issues in the electorate than the politics of the day, which is what occupies them in Canberra. So it's often a time you can have a more fulsome conversation with an MP about how a particular issue affects you, how it affects the community, and why they should care about it. Obviously there's a role for meetings in Canberra, but they're often very short, sharp, and direct.
Yeah. And how should you be... one of the questions we get a lot is how do you address your local Member of Parliament?
So there are formal ways to address members of Parliament. So senators are obviously addressed as senator, members Mr. or Ms. My experience is when they're talking to constituents, particularly when they're out in the electorate, most members and senators are happy to be referred to by their first names. Obviously, you've got to make a judgment call. You can start off a bit more formally, and if the relationship warms, then first name basis is a good place to be.
Very good. And what sort of things should our members be talking to their local members of Parliament about?
Well, you can talk to them about anything that's important to you. Obviously, there's a lot going on in financial planning at the moment, so there's a wealth of issues that you might want to talk to them about. One thing that we will do with this advocacy guide is we'll add some summary sheets behind it for particular issues as they come up, which will help members, get across the parameters of particular issues that are relevant and enable them to go and talk to their MP about it. So they'll be coming shortly.
But is there anything about they themselves or their clients that they should sort of focus on that might catch the attention of their local member?
Yeah, so local members fundamentally are interested in issues as they affect their community and to be blunt, issues that turn votes. So they'll be interested in your perspectives as a constituent, as an employer or an employee, as a small business owner. So, if you're talking about an issue that affects you, you really want to highlight the impact it's going to have on your business, the impact it might have on your ability to employ more people or to keep on the people that you've got. The way that issue applies to clients who would also be members of the community. So that's the kind of connection that they're looking for. They may or may not be interested in the technical details of a particular regulation. Some are more technically knowledgeable about financial planning than others. But universally, they'll all be interested in how a particular issue plays out in their community and why they should care about it. So really tailor your message to focus on those things.
And that's a key area that you as members can have those conversations with your local members, whereas we are generally dealing at a more holistic and higher level.
Absolutely. We talk a lot about the technicalities of policies and how they apply to the profession as a whole. But members really have that authentic voice about this is what it means to me, to my business, my employees, to my customers and clients. And that's a really valuable perspective.
Yeah. And you mentioned that we're producing a number of one-pages and handouts. What should you be leaving behind with them, or should you not, or should you send it to them later on?
Look, we'll provide our intention is to provide a series of one-page summaries that would be appropriate to leave with your MP. You can leave your own material with your MP. It's certainly, I think, valuable to follow up. If you've had a meeting, if you've had a discussion with your MP, thank them. It's surprisingly rare for them to get thanked and to get kind words. So if you can, again, be nice, it's important. Reiterate your key points, follow-up actions that you think are important. And I guess the other thing that's important to note is these people are in their jobs for, at a minimum, 3 years for MPs, usually more than that, usually 6 years or longer. These are long-term relationships that you should be looking to build. It's rare to be able to meet with an MP, get a resolution immediately. You should think about this as a long-term relationship that you're building that will bear fruit in the future, but might take some time to develop. So, stay in contact. Take the opportunities you've got to engage with your MP, and hopefully you'll have a good result.
Are there any other tips or takeaways you've got for our members?
No, I think, it's not hard, it's common sense. We're certainly here to help. We've done the guide, but also we're happy to answer specific questions people have and support you. It's not a difficult thing to build a relationship with your MP, but it can be a very valuable one, both for yourself personally and also for the FPA and the broader profession.
And Nick's role here at the FPA, as he said, is to lead that government engagement. And so if you want to know who you should be reaching out to, what sort of conversations we're having with members of Parliament at the FPA level, but that we'd like you to have at your local member area, Nick is certainly here to have conversations with you or to reach out via email, whatever works for you. So we'd like to thank you for watching this video. Please have a look at the advocacy kit, and if there's anything we can do to help you engage with your local members of Parliament, please get in contact via policy@fpa.com.au. Thank you.